play no intro music. I play no intro video. I just sit here in sadness. I just sit here in sadness.
Well, one of the greats to ever do it is gone. And it's a sad day. I won't play intro music. I won't pretend to be happy in a space of positivity. Today is indeed quite a sad day. All right, come on in. So today, 9/9/2024, we say goodbye to yet another Star Wars legend. We come across the news that James Earl Jones has departed this dimension of existence. And I was already working on a stream anyway. I was going to play some Outlaws and have some fun and get crazy. And, you find out and you change your thumbie and you start, the mood changes and it's just a very dark day to see such a happy face. A voice I never got to hear in person, unfortunately. And we just have to sit back and remember all the wonderful roles, aside from Vader, aside from the voice, the man, the actor, you know, Field of Dreams, The Lion King. He was in a lot of sitcoms for funsies. Um, there's just so many. I mean, The Field of Dreams is probably the first film I saw him in where it wasn't his voice. The Lion King, there's so many iconic roles and iconic moments in The Sandlot. I mean, it's just a sad day. Amongst the bickering, amongst the anxiety, amongst the frustration at one another, this bums me out a whole bunch. This bums me out. So we're gonna go ahead and jump on. We're gonna jump on Twitterverse, and we're gonna see what. We're just gonna go through the latest. See how people are feeling. We'll dive into this for a little bit. Like I said, I was gonna put up a fun stream. I was gonna go ahead and play some gamesies and have some fun and laugh and play. But today is just a little darker. Today is just a little sad. And so yeah, we're gonna jump on Twitter and we're gonna see what people say because he's trending. It's all over the place, and we're just gonna take a look at some. I'm sure there's gonna be a whole bunch of iconic pictures of James Earl Jones, different roles. Um, I mean Sesame Street. Yeah, man, just uh, just a real sad day. It's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, there's some of the earliest memories I have were Field of Dreams. I mean, I don't think he was on Sesame Street when I was watching Sesame Street. I'm just saying. Yeah, man. I mean, such an iconic voice. Came back to do the Kenobi series with Hayden, and I guess that might be the last time we get to hear that iconic voice in something new. I mean, obviously the overlords at the House of Mouse could absolutely probably synthesize the voice, but I think we all know from here on out anything that involves that iconic voice is going to be a digitized a digitized platform. Not to say they can't do it either, because they can. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to chime in at some point. Um I mean, this is all breaking news. This is all over the major medias. I mean, he was the voice, if you're even if you're not a fan of the network, he was the This Is CNN guy. So CNN has already done their reporting on this, and yeah, it's just a shame, man. I mean, he was 93 years old, so he was an EGOT winner. If you don't know what that is, it's an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, or I'm sorry, Grammy, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Um, yeah, I mean, both roles in Coming to America, the first one and the second one. Um, there's just so many great moments, so many great movies that he was a part of, and the fandom is as a whole taking it the same way. And see, this is one thing I feel like. Hey, Leia, how are you? This is one thing I feel like, the timing is awful, right? Anytime an icon such as James Earl Jones leaves this realm of existence. Um, but I guess you can say every channel will be on the same page. Every Star Wars fan will be on the same page for even a millisecond. All the shills, all the personal outrage hunters, all the true grifters, everybody, none can say a bad word about James Earl Jones. None can can balk at the other for paying their respects on a stream or doing a video or something. And that's what more of this is. This is a way to pay respects to a legend, to an icon, to a voice that will never be duplicated or taken over by another voice. Um, it's a true. I don't want to say a tragedy, because tragedies are like, you know a whole different caliber, but definitely a day of sadness. And yeah, I mean, Dan, this is not what I wanted to hear today either. A man lived to see a lot. A man lived through a lot. A man acted through a lot. Put some Was part of some um, a very controversial time in television and movies. The man lived through um, so many, so many generations of television, and still found the humor to not only make fun of himself a little bit, but to have fun with his roles from the past in doing things like, the episode of The Big Bang Theory, things like that. Um, it's a shame. It's, but like I said, if anything good can come from this, if anything good can come from this one awful moment, is that everybody will be on the same page today. Today, during this quick time, I think the bickering might stop between, who said who about what and whom, and everybody can take a breath and just post the same stuff, post your love for a legend, share your experience of what the first role you saw him in, which ones made you laugh the most, which ones you enjoyed the most, which ones made you cry the most. It's something that can unite us in the fragility of the human existence, and that in a breath, the lights can be out and the world without. And this is a moment where everybody can stop their bickering, take a breath, realize that life is precious, and move forward, and then get on to whatever bickering, bantering bullshit that you choose to engage in. So, Yeah, I'm super bummed at everything going on. I like I said, I was ready to have some fun. I was ready to go steal some stuff. I was ready to go get me some my blaster shined up and new skins and stuff for my blaster and maybe even my friend Nick's. But I think we're just gonna put that on pause. We're gonna put the game on pause for the day and spend a little time here honoring a hero in the Star Wars community, a man that um, personified goodness and even in the public, you never heard anybody really say a bad thing about him. And remember the movies and shows and plays, whatever medium you enjoyed watching or hearing or listening to James Earl Jones. Um, I think we all feel the same way today. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I had so much fun playing today. I had so many things going today, and it's really a dark day now. I totally agree, Barry. Very welcome. It is quite a dark day. It's a little bit of a sad way to spend 9/9/24. But at the same time, if there's one thing maybe this moment in time can do for us, Barry, is kind of unite the fandom a little bit and put the animosity to the wayside and take a moment to do a video to say your respects, to pay your respects to a man who left us smiling. I mean, I don't know about you. You may hate Kenobi. You may think that the show was utter garbage, but the fact that James Earl Jones came back to do to do that, to do season 7 Clone Wars, Ahsoka, the Vader stuff in season 7 of basically the Ahsoka journey, um, to come back and do the stuff with Hayden Christensen and Kenobi, um, to get those pearls. You may hate it, you may bash on it, but ultimately, we got to watch and listen to the man do what he did best, one last time for us in this space. So, like it or hate it, love it or leave it, but we can all agree on something, and I think that's the thing we take away today. Maybe we'll see how long it'll last, but I don't expect much. I don't expect more than a day of grief, but I call for it. I'll put it on. I'll put it on the Twitter space. Um, drop it in, but I call for a ceasefire, a 24-hour parlay, if you will, if you're a Pirate fan. I call for a 24-hour ceasefire, a parlay to let the dust settle, let the fans grieve, um, let the creators gather their thoughts before we jump back attacking each other. Um, Granted, I try to stay out of the drama. I'm just the shill of all shills, but no one attacks me, but I feel like there's a lot of end fighting, and so maybe just for today we could call a ceasefire, call for a parlay, and just take it easy. So um, yeah, that's. I mean, I can't think of I can't think of a lot of words. I just I'm beside myself a little bit. It's truly unfortunate that I hope it was a peaceful transition. I hope that he was surrounded by family and friends and loved ones. And I preach all the time here. People may think it's for whatever, but I sign off of this channel the same way usually every time, unless it's gaming channel, and it's say what you got to say today, because tomorrow isn't a guarantee. And you know I don't know if James Earl Jones was sick. I'm not an ambulance chasing journalist. But you know, James Earl Jones did a lot in the space of television and movie stuff that you don't even know about, like the Matt Cave says James Earl Jones hosted my favorite making of, a special of all time, the making of Jurassic Park. Yeah, he did a lot of VO. He did a lot of voice work. That I think that's where most people appreciate him. The iconic voice, the Vader, Mufasa. But I remember him from Coming to America, right? One of my favorite films. Um, I remember him from Field of Dreams, right? Uh, um, yeah, I mean, what did you hear, Ray? I mean, there's so many moments in Field of Dreams where his voice, where he does that iconic voice, and then you listen to Vader, you hear Mufasa, um, you hear uh, these making of things that he VO'd. The CNN tagline, I think it would be an amazing homage, an amazing amount of respect if they brought that back for the month of September, for the rest of September. I think CNN it would be a good idea to bring that back for the month because uh, what a treasure to have that piece of media in your vault and to just ask the family, hey, out of respect for James Earl Jones, we'd like to use his tag for the rest of September, to honor him. Um, so yeah, I mean, Clear and Present Danger. I mean, there's so many great roles. Seeing him come back to do Coming to America 2, which was classic. It was great. Nothing's as good as the original, but it was great. Um, I mean, yeah, that the Big Bang Theory. That was probably one of my favorite moments where you get to see James Earl Jones act as himself, and you got him and Carrie having fun on the show. It's an iconic moment because you get to see that what is it? What am I looking for? That brightness that he brought to life. I've seen a lot of videos of him caught in the wild, on video or whatever. I've seen interviews and stuff, and it's just like, even the picture we used for the thummy, um, just that face, right? If that face can't make you smile, right? Then you need to go back and analyze your life a little bit. So yeah, I also Barry. One of my favorites is I hope he's up there knocking on doors and ding dong ditching Carrie Fisher up in the afterlife. An incredible stage actor, like I said. I mean, he's got a Tony Award. Um, uh, so it's so much respect for a man that did so much during his life as an actor. Um, there's so much. Yeah, I mean, life is precious and short, and I say it all the time on the stream, and I mention it all the time. But life is short, you know. That's why they call it a gift, and it's not cliche. It's not for BS. It's for honesty. It's for being real, right? If there's one thing you'll notice here, there's no facade, right? I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not pretending to dislike something. I mean, I'm pretty much the same. What you see is what you get. I call them how I see them, balls and strikes, you know, and I tend to do it with a little bit of a positive spin, but I am what I am. Popeye said it best. I am what I am. And so in this moment, it's it's just a sad day, and I think ceasefires are in order. I think it's time for everybody to take a step back and enjoy, uh, you know, the things that they appreciate. I wish I would have got to tell him in person at a con or even meeting him on the street. Uh, how much his roles in things really shaped maybe the way you look at things sometimes. So, yeah, just a huge piece of news for the community to gnaw on for I'm sure a couple days. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of these streams. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of these, videos and shorts and tweets and all this stuff. We've already gone through a couple of tweets. Uh, but yeah, it's a shame. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. The fact that James Earl Jones has left this realm and is gone is a tragedy. For us, the Star Wars fans, the TV goers, is a sad day. But unfortunately, the world spins on, and I hope that during this moment we can kind of take a beat and see uh, if we can agree for one day, right? That's my challenge to Twitter and YouTube. And if you haven't been getting along, if you've been following the chaos that is the Twitterverse right now in the YouTube space in the Star Wars community, maybe this will help. You know, put some put a blanket on it for a minute. Pause the argument, if you will, for per se. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to honor James Earl Jones than to call for a parlay, to call for a momentary truce in the fandom. So, I don't really, yeah, King Jaffa. Let him sow his royal oats. Yeah, I mean, there's so much, man. There's so many great movies that he, the voice of Mufasa. I mean, when I have a hard time sleeping as a young person, that's what I would put on. The voice of James Earl Jones was very soothing and it's very easy to put you to sleep. Um, but yeah, all of his roles, all of the you scared me. All of his roles, all of his uh, VO stuff, all of this, all of treasure it while you can. That's why I'm thankful that he had his moments of comeback in Kenobi, able to participate in the what may be the final live action Vader in the suit we actually see. From now on, if we get Vader, it may be in Anakin form. So, um, right. Um, Anyone who throws roses at my son's feet will answer to me. Yeah, it's a shame. I think it's gonna be a Samuel L. Jackson, James Earl Jones marathon. I was just looking at my emoji. It's gonna be a James Earl Jones marathon. Possibly, we may go through some. The Star Wars stuff is obvious. We'll watch some Rebels. We'll get down on some OT stuff and some some Vader stuff. Maybe watch Kenobi again. But yeah, maybe a Field of Dreams, maybe Coming to America, um, maybe The Lion King, both versions, live action and animated, um, and then see what else we can find. I think it's definitely yeah. I mean, the Big Bang episode. I'm gonna pull that up on one of the streaming services, whichever one has it, just to watch it. Just because, I mean, look at the amount of fun he had on that set. You can feel the energy that he brought to that set, just being able to play himself and have fun. Um, yeah, I mean, whatever you do to honor the dead, pour out some whiskey, pour out some beer, have some shots, smoke cigars, um, say a prayer, light a candle, whatever it is that you do to honor the gone, to honor the passing, do that. Instead of bickering amongst each other, instead of posting an angry tweet, instead of making a shitty video, instead of saying something to somebody that's negative. How about today to honor James Earl Jones, you do something else instead, right? Um, have a shot, smoke a joint, light a candle, light some fireworks, say a prayer, do a dance, whatever it is that you do to honor the gone, to honor the deceased. Maybe do that instead of being crappy today. Maybe that'll be a better use and a better way to honor the deceased. And this is my way. Getting it out there, releasing some news, even though it's all over the Twitterverse, and just saying a thank you, man, because so many of my iconic memories as a young man, as a grown man, so many of those moments have been, uh, that voice in my ear, right? And there's not many voices that capture and that send a wave of happiness through your soul, and through your very existence. So I honor, I thank. um oh, there you are. I honor and thank, and pay my respects and thank, a legend. So yeah, we're gonna cut this short. And instead of spending 3 hours playing a video game today, we're gonna take ourselves out of the mix for the rest of the day. I hope the rest of the angry mob of this drama that's going on in the space. Yeah, let's hope it's a ceasefire for the day. Let's hope everybody can take a day and maybe treasure the day instead of flinging poop, flinging poop. So no poop flinging today. Anybody else got any last thoughts? We're gonna keep this short. I'm not gonna spend time trying to make money on the deceased. Um, yeah, Field of Dreams, quite a serious movie. Great flick. Great quotes. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that he is possibly the easiest talent most people have ever worked with. Um, yeah, so we're gonna go through the marathon today. Probably we'll start with something light like the Big Bang Theory episode. Then maybe we'll do some Field of Dreams. Get a little serious for a minute. Shed a few tears. Uh, can't watch The Lion King right away because that's going to be a tearjerker. And then maybe we'll jump into some Star Wars. Keep it light. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah. I mean, to a lot of us. I mean, that voice lives inside your head. Inside of Star Wars fans. It lives back here. Um, you know,
Is she alright? Is, is she okay?
there's just so many moments. Yeah, that's one that most people don't remember. Um, Not a lot of people probably saw that movie. Yeah, so we're not gonna keep burning the candle. I just wanted to put it out there and more of a paying my respects, saying my thank you to an absolute legend in the space, and paying my respects and saying a goodbye to a voice that will reverberate for generations to come. Um, that voice will ripple through, and already has, through several generations. So, with that, my friends, I bid you good day. I hope you can find a moment of peace, find a moment of zen, and just remember that it's a short life. Spend it trying to be positive. Don't forget to spay, neuter your pets. Help control the pet population. Tell your friends, your family, your loved ones how you feel today, because you never know what tomorrow brings. Life is